What is up, YouTube? This is DEFCON 3 Security coming at you from somewhere here on Spaceship Earth. As you can see, I have my spacesuit on, which would indicate that I am at work right now, clearly on a break. So yeah, guys, sorry I haven't put out a video for a while. I wish I had an excuse, but I really don't. Ultimately, it comes down to me putting YouTube on the back burner. I do that once in a while. Lack of content, or just, yeah, you know, whenever I film a video, it takes like 1 hour for the video to upload because I'm uploading it from my phone. Maybe it's the area I'm in. My service is through AT&T, so it's pretty fast. I'm getting 5G out here, but it still takes like an hour, which really just lags my phone, and that's another reason why I hesitate sometimes uploading video. There's been times where it's taken like 2 hours to upload, and it just slows down my whole entire phone. So, anyways, so, you know, we had a contest a few weeks ago, and 5 of you guys won t-shirts. I didn't forget about that. And to be honest, I have not sent the shirts out yet, but I will send them out tomorrow. The reason for the delay is I was really unsatisfied with the quality of the shirts. I had another shop print them. I got the shirts all right here. I've got an entire stack of them. So for those of you who've been patient and waited, you will be getting these soon. They're DEFCON 3. They have a flag right here on the right arm. I used to have it on the left arm, but proper etiquette says that you should have it on the right arm. So I got that fixed. These are the version 2.0s, right? And then I also put right here, on the left sleeve, know your worth, right? I was gonna put know your value, but the guy was getting impatient, and I'm like, you know what, let me just roll with this. So I have an entire stack of shirts right here. I'm folding them up, I'm putting them inside of envelopes, and I am sending them out to you guys. Let me tell you, they're not cheap either. I'm not just saying this just to make you guys feel guilty or anything, but it roughly came down to like $30 per shirt, because I have a logo on the front, and then when you put the sleeves on, it adds to the cost of getting them done. The guy did give me a little bit of a discount, so moving forward in the future, I'm gonna probably print them out somewhere else. But I just wanted to get the shirts that I promised you guys out ASAP. So there you go. As far as that, nothing new. I got a new watch, the Galaxy 4 watch. So you like flick it and supposedly, man, don't want to stay on, but you get it. You can change the face on it. Currently it's telling me how much time is left in the day, telling me how fast my heart is beating, telling me how many footsteps I've walked today, battery life. It checks my blood oxygen levels, my blood pressure, monitors my sleep. Evidently I don't sleep enough. It will tell you how much light sleep you have, how much REM, how much deep sleep. My deep sleep, on a typical night, I am getting like 0. My REM, I'm getting like an hour, and then light sleep anywhere from 5 to 6 hours. So that's interesting. My blood, what is it, checking my blood oxygen levels are like 97, 98. Sometimes when I sleep, it drops down to like 95. So it's a new thing for me. I'm really excited about it. Of course, you can change the face to whatever you want, and it's pretty awesome. So like right here, it says my, what is this? Beats per minute. Then it tells you like your body mass index. I can't get it to stay on. Like, I think it just shuts off because it knows I'm not looking at it. But when I look at it, it stays on. So that's pretty cool. I guess it just knows somehow that I'm looking at it. As soon as I show it to you guys, it shuts off. But anyways, there you go. That's my my latest thing. Hopefully it will help me continue toward good health, because at the end of the day, it's not about money, it's not about anything, it's about your health and your relationships in life. If you're not healthy, life just sucks. If you don't believe me, imagine having $1 million in your bank account, but the worst headache or the worst toothache in the world. That $1 million is not gonna feel like much to you when you're just concentrating on pain. So health is certainly detrimental. All right, so today what we're gonna do is I'm gonna answer like the last 3 questions or comments that I received in my comment section. The last one was from Judge Parker, and he says, being an armed guard is critical. It's critical that you're well rested at all times. Slipping from lack of sleep will get you killed. It ties into what I just said. Yeah, you're right, Judge Parker. Incidentally, this guy's been commenting on my channel since gosh knows how long. He has his own channel too. Look him up, Judge Parker. He's a security guard. But yeah, I agree, man. The lack of sleep will cause you to make some miscalculations or misjudgments, or even worse, fall asleep on the job. And there's, we have, as guards, we have like deadly sins, things you don't do. You don't flirt with women or men at work. Those are just things you don't do. You don't smoke drugs or smoke weed or anything at work. But really the most biggest sin that you can do as a security guard is sleeping on the job. If you fall asleep on the job, you are absolutely worthless. You could be overran, you can be a lot of things, but imagine if the client caught you sleeping. I know in my company, if you fall asleep on a job, that's typically termination for you. Oops, dropped you guys there. So yeah, you're right, Judge Parker. Getting rest is important, but it's not always easy. I mean, honestly, I know there's guards out there that are working 14-hour shifts 4 to 5 days in a row, and then they go and do another job. And when do you find time to sleep, So my heart goes out to you guys that have to do that, but if you made enough money, you probably wouldn't have to work those many hours and get a second job. And again, that's why I always tell you to, where's it at? Know your worth, right? If you're not making enough money and you got to get a second job, then clearly you're doing something wrong. It's not your employer that's doing something wrong. It's you that's doing something wrong. Your employer be more than happy to undercut you and pay you $13 an hour. All right, number 2, on my channel, it doesn't matter what you do. Oh, okay. So look, I thought, yeah, never mind. I read that wrong. Okay, so you guys know about Darian Long. He's the, they call him the kick-ass mall cop. One of the most, I'm trying to think of the right word for him. The most proactive security guards on YouTube. If you don't know him, just look up Darian Long, kick-ass mall cop, right? He occasionally comments on my channel. I occasionally comment on his channel. But the last comment that I put on his channel, people were talking smack to him about being a security guard. And then ultimately he became a delivery driver. And they were making fun of his profession. And, Darian Long, he's like, it's like throwing water on a duck. He just shakes it right off. But I did comment, and he really liked my comment. And that comment to him was, a lot of us, what we do for a living, we're not doing this because we want to do this. We're doing it because we have to do it. This is how we pay our bills. This is how we pay for life. So I gave him a quote that I remember hearing a long time ago. And that quote was, it doesn't matter what you do for a living, rather it matters what you do for life, right? So when people come up to me, I remember in church, they would always say, so what do you do for a living? Or, hey man, so where do you work? What do you do for a living? And I always tell people, what I do for a living is boring. Why don't you ask me what I do in life? Because my life's way more interesting than what I do for a living. I've traveled to so many different countries. I've seen so many different things. I've experienced so many different experiences. So ultimately what it comes down to is what I do for life. And incidentally, it's what I do for a living that pays for my life. Being a security guard, it's not as glamorous sometimes as you may think. Sure, I have my stories and my close calls and my incidences, but ultimately what you see me do right now, this is what I do for a living. If I weren't on YouTube right now recording this, this is what I would be doing. For 8 hours, right? Occasionally get up, scan some QR codes, maybe, you know, listen to a podcast. But ultimately, I'm just looking at a monitor, making sure nothing destructive or bad is happening outside this fortress. All right, and the last question of the night, Donnie McKinney says, just got my first security job. I wish I found your video before I applied. They offered me $13.50 because of no experience. So Donnie, welcome to the channel. Hey man, it's okay. When I first started working security, which was, I'm thinking 2 years ago, my first job, they paid me $13 an hour, armed. And I was totally excited about it. I'm like, damn, I got hired instantly, like literally got my guard card, and then that weekend they says, hey, can you work? And I'm like, sure. And I was happy. And the reason why they hired me is because, dude, they gave me $13 an hour. Looking back, I'm like, dude, they would have hired a monkey to do that job for $13 an hour. They were just happy to have a body out there. And I excelled. I did really well. I had dignity in what I did. I didn't have pride in the amount of money I made, but I had dignity in what I did. I was the best guard at $13 an hour. As a matter of fact, I was giving them a $40 an hour guard for $13 an hour. And of course, that didn't last long. It lasted a season, and after that, I moved on into bigger and better things. So Donnie, you obviously know that $13.50 an hour is low. That's why you brought it up on my comments. So the fact that you know that $13.50 is not enough, go out there and seek more money. When they give you that whole thing about, well, you don't have enough experience, well, tell them you don't have enough pay, because experience in this industry, although helpful, is not necessary. You know, do you have the experience to look at a gate to make sure nobody goes through it? I mean, yeah, you don't, I mean, come on, how much experience do you need to do that? I've seen guards making $24, $25 an hour just to sit on their butts in the car all day long and make sure nobody comes onto the farm, the field. And that's it. And if somebody comes on the farm or the field, they hit a panic button and law enforcement is deployed. I mean, how much experience does that take? After 3 years of doing that, do you really think you would do the job that much better and you deserve that much more money? The fact that you are there, that you have to wake up in the morning, get yourself uniformed up, and sit in one spot and give somebody 8 hours of your life every single day. Mind you, you're giving them thousands of hours a year. That's your life, man. You're only granted so many heartbeats in your life, right? You don't know when that clock's gonna stop ticking, and you're over here saying, well, I don't deserve to get more because I don't have the experience. Now, don't go for that as an answer. So what I would encourage you to do is stick with that $13.50 an hour job, but in the interim, look for a higher paying job. That is the DEFCON 3 way of doing things. Know your worth, know your value, value your time. Above all, be safe.